Welcome back, everybody. Time for Pick 6 at 7. Each Sunday morning during football season, we bring in a guest to make predictions for 6 big NFL games. We made it the whole season without management finding out we're doing this. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. For the final week of the regular season, we welcome back Britt Whitmire from FM Talk 101.1 WXII. He is picking against me and Brian. Britt, we appreciate you coming back.
I'm going to guess I was such a big hit last time you had to bring me back, or I was just painfully available.
Ratings were through the roof.
Yeah,
you went 4-2 a few weeks back.
Very nice.
And this week we have some really tough games. Some teams have a lot to play for. Some teams have nothing to play for.
Right.
And in many instances, those two teams play each other.
That's a big factor, too.
Big factor. Game number 1, this is a 1 o'clocker. Pittsburgh at Miami. Both teams need a win desperately to make it to the postseason, and both teams need a lot of help.
I just barely picked Pittsburgh in this one. I like Miami at home most of the time. I think Pittsburgh did a lot to get their act together last week. I think Ben Roethlisberger's going to take care of business, and I like the Steelers' defense a little bit more than Miami. In a close one, I'm picking the Steelers.
Brian?
I agree with Britt. However, Pittsburgh has really put up some bad games of late, but they are the defending Super Bowl champions, and they need a win to make the postseason. So I give the edge in a close game to Pittsburgh.
Going to go Pittsburgh, too, but I do not think they will get the help that they need.
Right.
They need so many other teams to lose. I think they're going to win this game but fall just short. Game number 2, New Orleans at Carolina. New Orleans has nothing to play for. They've clinched a bye. They've clinched home field.
Right.
Panthers technically don't have anything to play for either,
Right.
other than to finish 500 somehow.
Yeah.
Somehow. They have a chance to finish the season 8-8 after starting 0-3.
But there's some late breaking news on this one. The New Orleans coaches are going to lock all the starters into a small athletic training shed. It's about the size of a one-car garage.
Oh, dear.
The starters will not even come close to seeing the field for New Orleans. I think Carolina rolls in this one, gets some momentum toward next season. I think Carolina all the way here.
Yeah.
Saints are not going to play Breeze or Darren Sharper today, so I think that's a big factor, too. New Orleans really needs this win. They've lost the last 2 games.
Yep.
And you and I were talking off camera, Kenny. Do you really want to lose
Your last 3 going into the
games going into the
postseason?
playoffs? I wouldn't. So I got the edge of the Panthers.
I'm going Panthers, too. Phil Simms and Troy Aikman are higher on the depth chart this week than Drew Brees. But I'm worried about the Saints in the postseason.
Yeah.
They have really stumbled to the finish line. We'll see how that pans out in the postseason. Right. Game number 3, another game featuring a team that has to win and a team that, who cares? New England has nothing to play for. Houston has everything to play for. They need a win, and they need help as well.
As much as this pains me, I'll give a quick shout out to my fiancée, Katie. She's a big Patriots fan. I'm going to pick Tom Brady and his guys today.
Trying to stay out of the doghouse. Okay, that's smart.
I think they're going to get it done and roll on with some momentum toward the playoffs. So they're going to beat Houston today.
Okay.
Are we allowed to give shout-outs? I didn't know that this whole time.
He just did,
yeah. Shout-out yet. That's
I've picked it up a little bit.
I like the Texans, too, in this one. They need to win, and 2 or 3 teams to lose, including the Jets, the Ravens, and Denver. I give the edge to Houston. They've come back of late. They've got a great offense and a decent defense.
Houston is a huge tease, but I think in light of the Tom Brady injury a year ago, Bill Belichick not going to take any chances with his studs. I like Houston in a game where they're playing basically 50% of the Patriots' full firepower. Okay, game number 4. This is a big one. Philadelphia at Dallas. Both teams are already in, so technically they don't have anything to play for, but both teams, depending on how other teams do, could earn first-round buys.
I give an edge here to the Philadelphia Eagles. I think this is a message game. I know that Dallas cured their December woes, but guess what? It's not December anymore.
There you go.
Philadelphia Eagles send a message going into the playoffs. They beat the Dallas Cowboys today.
Brian?
Eagles look awfully tough. Even though they lost to Dallas earlier this season, I do give the edge to them. I think they're on the road. They're playing in Dallas?
It's in Dallas. It's in Dallas.
I think the Eagles win this one and post a 12-4 record this season.
Yeah. I am going Eagles, too, and I'm going to make a bold prediction, and perhaps a foolish one for a guy who's been only slightly better than a coin flip all season. I think the Eagles are going to be the team to beat in the NFC this postseason.
I think so, too.
Despite the Vikings, despite the Saints, despite everything else, I think the
Saints,
Eagles,
they both slipped. The Eagles are getting hot at the right time.
Game number 5, Green Bay at Arizona. Similar situation. Both teams are in. Green Bay has nothing to play for. Arizona, if they win and get a little help, they could get a first-round bye.
I was so disgusted by the way that Arizona played against San Francisco. I got to pick Green Bay in this one. I think Green Bay is going to be a team that is going to, they're kind of a sleeper team in the playoffs. Not a lot of people are talking about them.
No.
Minnesota with Brett Favre kind of backing into the playoffs. I like Green Bay to beat Arizona on the road today.
Aaron Rodgers is so good.
But does Aaron Rodgers play? That's the question. I mean, there's a good chance these two teams could face each other the first round of the playoffs if Arizona doesn't get that first round bye. Green Bay is going to be a wild card team regardless. So do they show their full hand today? I think you sit Rodgers and bring him out for the first round of the playoffs.
I give the edge to Arizona at home, one of the few places in the contiguous 48 states that's not like 10 degrees below zero right now. Plus, again, Green Bay nothing to play for. Arizona has something to play for. Game number 6, and this is a huge one, and this is what's great about the NFL. You can see this one here on WXII tonight. Cincinnati at New York. This means we probably won't know who all the playoff teams are until midnight, maybe 1 o'clock tomorrow morning. If the Jets win, they are in. The Bengals have nothing to play for. They are in and cannot get a bye. If the Jets lose, it could open the door up for some of these fringe teams, a Pittsburgh, maybe a Miami. Britt, who do you like here?
I am going to go against conventional wisdom. I think the Jets completely peaked their entire season when they beat the Colts. So I think this is it. Cincinnati, I think, is going to beat the New York Football Jets, and I think Cincinnati cruises on. There's that word momentum coming up again. I think they get a push off going into the playoffs.
Okay, Brian?
Jets need a win to get in, and it's my theme for all these picks. The Bengals, not a lot to play for today, so I think the Jets come out, even though I'm not real happy with the way Sanchez has played, the quarterback for the Jets. I think they win a very close game tonight.
I think the Jets are going to win it with defense. The Bengals have struggled to score. How long is Carson Palmer, Cedric Benson, Chad Ochocinco? How long are they going to play? They don't score a ton anyway, and the Jets do not have a bad defense. All right, quickly, let's take a look at the standings through Week 16 in terms of. Oh, I forgot the crew again. Sorry, guys. Boy, that makes it 17 weeks in a row now that I forgot the crew. They are going with you, Britt. They are taking the Bengals.
Oh, good.
Shots out of focus, Kenny.
Surprised my mic is still on.
Who knew?
Pick 6 at 7, the standings through Week 16. Thanks to a solid performance a week ago, Brian has pulled ahead of Austin and the rest of the pack in terms of percentage. A 3-3 week for Austin Cavanis last week. Britt and 7 others are now tied at 667. We'll see if he can break into the 700 club. I'm way at the bottom, 577.
Ouch.
Only slightly better than a quarter.
You better do well on this today, because if you end up in the final standings
and I'm below the wives, that'll be bad.
Your wives is never going to be able to the end of it.
I'm a full 9 games back of you, and we have the exact same games this week, so congratulations on winning the regular season battle between the two of us. He's Britt Whitmire. You can catch him weekdays on 101.1 WXII Talk FM. Britt, thanks a lot for coming in today. Good luck with the picks, and we'll see you in the playoffs.
Thank you very much, boys.
Appreciate it, Brian. Very much.